The following is a paid program. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the management or ownership of KSTP-AM 1500 ESPN.
This is the place to talk about everything related to the home. Buying or selling real estate, financing and improvements that can help increase your home's value. This is Minnesota Home Talk on Score North. Here's your host, Jason Walgrave.
Good morning, folks, and welcome back. This is Minnesota Home Talk, and we're live on 1500 ESPN, live every Saturday morning, of course, on demand at minnesotahometalk.com. I'm your host, Jason Walgrave, with Walgrave Real Estate Group and the Minnesota Real Estate Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Well, I'm actually out of studio, but in studio is the great Mortgage Michael Ouverson. Yeah, you're sporting that Luminate hat this morning. Looks pretty good.
I had that shirt that it says, I give you money for houses that I made back in the day. The only problem is you can't see it. We can't see it when I got computer and microphone and all this stuff, in front of me here. So I'm like, well, maybe I pull the stocking cap out. I only get to wear it a few months of the year. So let's do that.
It's a good thing you've got that nice shortcut, so it won't mess up your hairdo.
Well, my hair is actually long. It's almost like your length now.
It is not.
But when it gets that long, then you just do the crazy look. You do the crazy look. But
the messy look, as they say.
Yep. But you make a good point there, because Jason, I like to keep my hair shorter in the winter versus the summer, and everyone kind of does that. Why would you do it shorter in the winter? Well, so that when you wear a hat, it doesn't get messed up.
Yes. It's strategic, really.
It is. It's smart, in my own head at least.
We've also got Insurance Evan in studio. Folks, he is not only our great and powerful producer, but he is the insurance expert, the guru of all things insurance. So, Evan, appreciate you being here this morning as well.
Always.
We got, go ahead.
I just said always, that's all.
Always, that's right. I love it. Folks, keep in mind, starting January 4th, 2023, Minnesota Home Talk will be live on Wednesdays at noon. We will be streaming on Facebook and YouTube, and then we will also be syndicating with many other places that you find your podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, and so we're very excited about the new day and time. Excited about the new show format. Minnesota Home Talk will become U.S. Home Talk. We've got my youngest brother, Marcus Walgrave, who has had a show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for a number of years, will be joining us as co-host, a part of the new show called U.S. Home Talk. And so we'll be talking about, of course, all things real estate and more of a focus on real estate nationally. We will have different market experts throughout the year in the different areas throughout the United States. But U.S. Home Talk, Minnesota Home Talk is becoming U.S. Home Talk starting January 4th, 2023, Wednesdays at noon. Find us on Facebook and YouTube and many other streaming platforms. So we're very excited for that launch. Today, of course, we are on AM 1500 radio, 1500 ESPN. We're on Facebook, YouTube. Folks, you can go to our website, minnesotahometalk.com. You'll always be able to find us there. Past shows, upcoming events, all of our fantastic partners, and we're excited for the new year to come. So this morning, we've got 2 pair of Timberwolves tickets to give away. The Timberwolves, man, they won last night. That was exciting.
They did.
So they're kind of hit and miss. But we do have 2 pair of Timberwolves tickets to give away. And Ouverson, what's the question this morning? What are we shooting out there?
Christmas is coming up. We all know that here. So we figured we'd do a little Christmas theme deal. So we're going to give away tickets to the 2 best answers for either A, let us know what your longest running or your favorite Christmas tradition is, or 2, let us know the most unique or the most memorable gift you've ever given or received. So Christmas tradition or the most memorable gift you've ever given or received. The best 2 answers, us 3 will vote on the answers at the end of the show. Best 2 answers are going to win a pair of those Timberwolves tickets.
So an example of that, folks, is maybe a Christmas tradition that you have is baking cookies, spending an entire Saturday making cookies, kind of like Ouverson does. Or maybe one of your best gifts are maybe you have a child fire starting kit. So to teach your children how to start fires. I did see that somewhere. Maybe that's one of an example.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea there. I'm actually going on Amazon right now so I can buy those for my boys. I've never heard of something that magnificent ever, to be honest with you. Evan, our insurance guy, that's what he buys all of his nieces and nephews and stuff like that every year. It's Uncle Evan's going to get us another fire starting kit.
I should be doing the opposite. I should be sending everyone a fire extinguisher for Christmas.
Right.
Thanks for being a client. Here's your Christmas fire extinguisher. It's red because 'tis the season.
Right. Yeah. See, you could use it as decoration.
I like it.
Or to put out the fire, It's dual purpose.
All right, folks, if you'd like to answer that question, best Christmas tradition or most unique or exciting Christmas gift, you can send us your answers 2 ways. Our text line is open at 612-234-7585. That is our text line. Text your answers to 612-234-7585. That number, folks, will remain as our text line moving forward. It's also our phone line to reach us anytime during non-show hours or non-show hour. And or you can go to Facebook right now and in the comments, give us your answers to one of those two questions: best Christmas tradition or best or most memorable Christmas gift. Go to facebook.com, Minnesota Home Talk page, and in the comments, you can shoot us your answers, or you can send those answers to our text line, which is 612-234-7585. Folks, our text line again is 612-234-7585. All right, we got some stuff to talk about this morning. We're going to be talking about rates. We're going to be talking about mortgage programs. Ouverson, you came into my weekly team meeting, or bi-weekly rather, team meeting on Tuesday and talked about some very exciting, I think, mortgage programs that a lot of people don't know about. And so we'll be talking about those. Of course, answering all questions related to real estate, anything and everything real estate related. You can always ask questions to our text line, in addition to the contest this morning with what is your best or most memorable Christmas gift? And do you have any Christmas traditions that you'd like to share as well? Text line again, 612-234-7585. That is our text line. You can also go to facebook.com and in the comment section, provide your answers there. All right. I suppose we got to do smoking hot listings too, don't we?
Yeah, we got listings to go through.
All right. So we'll do smoking hot listings. Here we go. I wonder if Evan, you want to do the hot listings, or do you want me to do them?
No, you're going to do them. You can see them on your screen, right?
Not really.
This is why we try and get you connected early.
Zoom?
You could just pull up your listings on your tab there, like we did last time.
All right. Our first one is in St. Paul, located on 1647 Ames Avenue. A remodeled 2-story home on the market for $289,000. We have some great remodels. A fantastic 2-story. It's a double lot. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Let's see here, 17. All right, hold on a second here. You better just do it, Evan. I can't read the bottom.
1,791 square feet. This is a pretty old house in St. Paul with some great renovations.
Love it.
Once again, 1647 Ames Avenue for $289,000. Our next hot listing, 1738 Woodgate Lane in Eagan, Minnesota, and it looks like there's an open house on this one tomorrow from noon to 2 p.m. This one's on the market for $275,000. I believe that this is a townhome.
Yes, sir. Quad townhome, completely remodeled.
Yeah, it looks great inside. 3-bed, 2-bath, just over 1,300 square feet. This one's looking fresh and ready for move-in. Once again, that's 1738 Woodgate Lane, and there will be an open house on this one tomorrow at noon for $275.
Yeah, that's a good looking unit right there.
Yeah, they did a good job. The original kitchen had of course a wall in between the kitchen and the living room, and so they took out that wall, made an open floor plan concept, and it's got new everything, new appliances, countertops, cabinets, new flooring, paint, light fixtures. Really fantastic property.
Nice backsplash. They did a good job there. Nice.
Oh yeah, when you're cooking your spaghetti, Ouverson, you can clean that up easy.
Yeah.
All right, our next hot listing is 2148 Kelly Circle in Shakopee. If you're looking for cozy, small, old world living, this is not the house for you. This thing is a giant 7,000 square feet, 5-bath, 5-bed, on the market for $1.145 million. And boy, this has some, you want some open spaces.
Yeah.
It's got a living room with a kind of balcony level, huge foyer chandeliers, wonderful kitchen with a island cooking setup. Beautiful house.
Located on a private cul-de-sac. Mm-hmm. 2 or 2.5 acre lot.
2.5 acre lot.
2.5 acre lot.
This is an exceptional. Folks, we did have a second showing on this house yesterday, so you do have still time to come in and take a look at it. We may be getting an offer here very shortly. So exceptional property.
This of my photos of this property, this is probably my favorite one, which is the view looking into the living room coming from the rest of the house, where it's this enormous 2.5-story tall room with these floor-to-ceiling windows. It's gorgeous. Once again, that's 2148 Kelly Circle in Shakopee.
I will say too, so that's obviously up in the jumbo loan category.
Oh yeah.
So jumbo loans, as far as interest rates go, they are lower than your standard conventional out there. I did price out a jumbo loan just yesterday. They were at 5.5%.
Wow.
5.5% on a 30-year fixed.
That's not bad at all.
That's fantastic. So on a deal like that, what would it cost to buy that rate down to say, 4.99? Just below 5%.
It probably costs you 2 points to get there, because the jumbo loans, you don't get quite as far with the buy downs as you do like on a conventional loan. It's a little bit more expensive to buy that rate down, but I think for 2 points you could get down to that like 4.99 level.
Excellent.
On a 30-year fixed on that house.
That's huge. 30-year fixed under 5%, folks. We have a way to get that for you. So
nice. Our next one is in Minnetonka, 4627 Ellerdale Road. This is a large 1-story home, 5-bed, 3-bath, 4,500 square feet. This is a great property. This one's also been remodeled, as I recall. Yeah, new finishing throughout. It's got a walkout bottom level, I believe.
It does.
And it's just beautifully. I assume that this was. Is this staged by our friends at Trend Staging?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Melissa did an outstanding job.
Yeah, this looks like their work, and it's. I'd like to live there.
It is spot on.
Yeah. Great.
So, go ahead, buddy.
No, you go ahead.
Speaking of staging, I'll tell you what, Melissa at Trend Staging has done several staging jobs for us in the last couple months. Folks, I can tell you that staging kind of took a pause for a couple years, during the wild COVID seller years, we're going to call them, where
you didn't even have time, right?
You didn't have time. You had, all these multiple offers and, wild things going on. Staging is back, and staging works. It's highly effective. We've had 3 clients in the last couple months do staging. 2 of them, we actually had put their house on the market without the staging, took it off the market, put the staging in, and in both cases, sold both of those homes in just a few days after we went back on the market with the staging. It feels different. I think you can do virtual staging, which can be a good option to get people in the door. But once they're there, if you have a really good staging company, and Trend Staging is who we work with, it's going to pay for itself. You're gonna see multiple fold return on that investment for staging. So it's going to sell faster for a higher dollar amount, and Melissa just does a really exceptional job. So we appreciate her.
Anyway, that's 4627 Ellerdale Road in Minnetonka on the market for $975,000. Moving on to our next one. It's a business opportunity. 103 Main Street North in Aurora, Minnesota. But it is also the Hive Coffee and Bakehouse. On the market for $590,000.
This place is pretty cool, folks. If you're looking for a business and commercial real estate opportunity in Aurora, Minnesota, this is it. The food is fantastic. It is the setting is great. It's right on Main Street. Aurora is very close to Giants Ridge, so the ski and golf resort up Bewabic, Minnesota. It's up there a bit. You're just west of Duluth, pretty much.
Just north of Duluth, north. Just east of Virginia, Minnesota.
There you go.
One of my best friends is from Virginia, Minnesota.
Really? Yeah, it's a cool area up there. Kind of Iron Range area.
Yeah.
They've got incredible trails, not only in the summer for mountain biking, but of course, you've got all of the snowmobile trails that run throughout the whole state. Great area. Really cool town. I could see you owning and running that, Evan. I could see you just being the guy that owns and runs the Hive Coffee and Bake. No?
Yeah. I mean, I would do it. Aurora's a little far for the commute to do the show, though.
That is true.
Moving on to our next listing, we've got a construction opportunity here. Lot 24 Ridgewood Drive in Merrifield, Minnesota, on the market for $164,000. This lot is 1.6 acres, right on the lake. Are both lots still available here?
Both lots are still available. The one is at 164. The other one is at 139. And so you've got acreage. They're over an acre each, almost 1.5 acre on the other one. So you've got acreage and lakeshore opportunity in northern Minnesota. Fantastic lot to build either your second home, maybe your cabin or your tiny house, or maybe it's time to retire. Get out of the cities and move up north.
I'd like to retire.
So would I.
Someday.
So would I.
Jason, should we pick those up?
You
get one, I get the other?
Yep, and then we could, should we do tiny homes, or should we build, or should we just buy a motor home and park it up there?
I'm thinking we just tent it. Something like that.
That works too. That works. Winters will be rough on us, but summers will be fun.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Living cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Our next hot listing is 20755 Addison Drive in Prior Lake, Minnesota. I love these aerial shots that show exactly where it's located. This one's on the market for $775,000. Jason, tell us a bit about this property.
So this is a pretty fantastic setting. You've got a 2.5 acre lot, but it also includes another PID, another lot on Fish Lake. And so you've got lakeshore and acreage. The lakeshore piece, which is included in the whole package, has a boathouse. It's got your power Wi-Fi. A really cool setting. This is a dead-end street that it's on, so lots of privacy. Lakeshore plus acreage in Prior Lake on Fish Lake, and it's priced, I think, really well at $775,000. Great opportunity for a wonderful home for over 4,000 square feet, I believe. 4 bedrooms,
it's
4 bath.
Four bed, 4 bath, 4,000 square feet. Lots of fours.
Excellent. Lots of fours. So great opportunity to be in the Prior Lake area on the water plus acreage.
Our next hot listing is a to-be-built on Sumter Avenue in Savage, Minnesota.
So it's pretty cool. So we've got 3 lots left in the Oak Knolls Estate development. This is in Savage, Prior Lake Savage School District. And we've got lots ranging in price from $114,000 up to $155,000. And so a pretty fantastic opportunity. Custom build your home with Pebble Creek Custom Homes, 100% custom home builder. So we will design and build exactly what you want. And it's in a really wonderful community. These aerial shots are cool too. It shows you how close you are to Prior Lake. And then, of course, you've got Target and all the restaurants over there. Wonderful location in Savage, Minnesota.
Moving on to another new construction opportunity in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. 11610 58th Court North. On the market for $1.4 million. This is a 5-bed, 5-bath, 5,055 square foot home.
This one's got a lot of fives in it. Steve De La Roseby on our team. This is his listing. His client is building this wonderful custom luxury 2-story in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. I think the windows and roof is on, and so it's through framing stages. If you want to walk through and take a look at where we're at in the process, we would welcome that, and also an opportunity to potentially finish or choose some of the finishings as well. Great home, really cool floor plan.
Moving on to Sims Court, 16094 Sims Court Southeast in Prior Lake, Minnesota. This is a cool one because it backs right up to a nature preserve, so you don't have to worry about future developments.
Future development, you won't have any neighbors right in your backyard. 9-lot development. It's a cul-de-sac, all half-acre plus lots, all walkouts surrounded by 12 acres of preserve, right across the street from the Twin Oaks and Hidden Oaks middle schools, Prior Lake Savage School District. Really cool little development, and there are 3 lots left in there as well.
Cool. That is it for hot listings today.
Folks, to find out more information about these listings or to search the MLS, go to our website, minnesotahometalk.com. Again, that's minnesotahometalk.com. Property search button is right at the top, so you can click on that, set up your custom searches. We do offer a free market analysis on your home or investment property, commercial real estate, land. We can come out and meet with you for 10-15 minutes, do a walkthrough, or a lot of times I can just do it right over the phone and get you a free market analysis on your home. Go to minnesotahometalk.com. Best way to connect with us all the time. All right, so the 2 questions today to win the Timberwolves tickets. We got 2 pair of tickets to give away. Number 1, and answer one of these 2 questions. Number 1, what is your favorite Christmas tradition? You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com, and in the comments, give us your answers. Or you can call our text line, which is 612-234-7585. That is the text line, 612-234-7585. That is the text line. What is your favorite Christmas tradition, or what is your most memorable or unique Christmas gift?
So you guys know what I heard a Christmas tradition last weekend. What this family does is that they eat KFC for their Christmas meal. And everyone's like, why KFC for your Christmas meal? They're like, well, Colonel Sanders kind of looks like Santa Claus with that white goatee and stuff. We did it one year. Everyone liked it. We've been doing it ever since.
I think
like,
it's great. I think it's
perfect.
Great.
Love it.
Man, I haven't eaten a KFC in a long time. I think it's good. If I remember it, there just really isn't one over by us. So, but that'd be easy, boy.
Right.
You don't have to cook anything. You get your mashed potatoes, get your corn, get your chicken, which is basically turkey. Do they have ham there?
I don't know. Maybe. Did you know that Colonel Sanders shot a guy?
What?
Like recently?
Oh, he's been dead a long time.
The guy or Colonel Sanders?
I mean, like the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, in a dispute over a sign for his business, was attacked by another business owner and shot him in self-defense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is my fun fact about KFC, was that the franchise wars were so strong at one point that like there was some sort of squabble over, I think KFC signed, like the other guy was mad that it was too big or something. And the fight escalated to the point that Colonel Sanders had to shoot him.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty
in
intense.
1980, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
1980.
There's a movie out there. I think it's called The Founder, and it's a story about McDonald's.
Yeah.
And that is a really good movie. Fascinating.
It's on Netflix, I think, right?
It could be. Yeah, it could be on Netflix. That's a fascinating movie. I learned a lot about that. All right, Overson, tell us about rates. What do people have for options? What's it looking like? What's the crystal ball say about next year?
So, guess how many weeks in a row now we have rates dropping? How many weeks in a row now have rates dropped?
Is this a trick question? Because it should just be one more than last week, unless rates just went up, in which case the answer is one.
No, they trended down again this week.
3 weeks? Last 3 weeks?
7. October 21st. Since October 21st, if you look at the chart, week after week, market's just slowly getting better, which means rates are slowly going down. So 7 weeks in a row now where interest rates have dropped. If you go back to October 21st and compare rates then versus now, rates then 7.375 was where they peaked. Today, I locked in, let's see, 6125. If I look at just recent locks here later this week, 6125, 6%. I had another 5875 with some points in there. So you're hovering right around the low sixes, high fives right now, depending on your situation, credit score, down payment, if you're paying points or not. But we're trending in the right direction. And it's all inflation driven, right? So as the news and the media says, hey, here's the consumer price index report, shows that consumer goods, the cost of consumer goods came down. You can tell that by gas, right? Yep. Filling up your truck, Jason, you probably noticed over the last couple of weeks, it costs less to fill your truck up now. So
it's not as painful,
right? So you get the consumer price index, you get inflation coming down. As long as we continue to hear news that what the feds are doing is working, inflation is trending in the right direction, our interest rates are also going to trend in the right direction. If that happens to reverse for some reason, you're going to see it. Our interest rates are going to start going up. So just watch inflation, watch the media. The narrative around inflation is going to drive our rates. So
yeah. And so did the feds do something this past week?
They raised it, but yep. So they raised the Fed's funds rate by 0.5%, which was expected. Now, when the feds raise rates, they're not raising mortgage rates, because I just said mortgage rates went down again, right? So you're like, well, but wait, Mike, the feds raised rates this week, but you're telling me rates went down. Yeah, they're talking about different rates. So the feds have control over short-term rates, credit card rates, home equity lines of credit, auto loans, the shorter term loans like that. They have control over that. So when they're raising rates, when you hear that the feds are raising rates, those particular rates are going up. Now, short-term rates and long-term rates are on a teeter-totter. They're inverse to each other. So typically as short-term rates go up, long-term rates go down. That's why we saw the 30-year fix go down again this week, because the feds raised short-term rates, long-term rates went down.
We love it. And that's just, and again, we were talking about last week too, a little bit about the opportunity for buyers right now. I think there's a lot of buyers that have been sitting on the fence for the last year. It kind of started in the spring and summer when you had all these crazy multiple offers and the competition was brutal, and buyers, maybe they went out and they made a couple offers and they didn't get the home. And so they're like, I'm just going to wait. And then late summer came, and then the rates, I would say you could say they skyrocketed from where they were.
I mean,
it would go from, threes to almost 8 in a matter of 60 days. So then those, a lot of those same buyers and new buyers said, I'm going to wait. I don't want to deal with this rate. Well, now we've got rates that are really good again, and there's an opportunity between now, really for the next 6 to 8 weeks. I think that there's going to be the best opportunity, more so than the next 12 months. And the reason for that is because you're not going to have the competition that you're going to have this spring and this summer. I think that it's going to be similar to last year, where there's just really high competition, a lot of multiple offers, kind of this feeding frenzy of buying real estate. So you've got better rates, you've got less competition, and folks, I'll tell you what, if you're looking at new construction, holy smokes, are there some opportunities. I got an email yesterday from a national builder. They have $25,000 incentives. So that means, upgrades, finish in the basement. And that's in addition to their already discounted homes because they want to move inventory before the end of the year. And there's opportunities, builders, any builder, big builder or medium-sized builder that has a lot of spec homes sitting out there, folks, they're looking to move that product. And so there's opportunities, great opportunity for buyers. If you're thinking about buying in spring, summer of this coming year, let's get out and start looking right now. I think you'll find an opportunity.
So let's talk about a live example that we have going on right now with one of our buyers, Jason. They bought a house in Lakeville, brand new construction home. Yeah. This home was listed for $469,900 in the spring, used as a model with this builder. So $469,900 in the spring. So if they would have pulled the trigger and bought that house back then, you probably would have paid $469,900, maybe even over list price a little bit more to get it, and you would not get your closing costs paid for. They were able to buy this house and get it on a contract just a couple weeks ago. So they picked it up for $414,000 and they got their closing costs paid for. So the net on the deal was about $405,000 to the seller.
Yes. Yeah.
So $469,900 down to $405,000 net when you do a net deal. Yeah. If that house was still available this spring, so once March, April comes around, I truly believe that house then is probably back up to probably about a $449,000 to a $459,000 price point. Yep. So it just shows the opportunity that's out there now, and we've talked about that over the last few weeks. If you want to get the best terms on a house, the next 6 to 8 weeks, like you just said, Jason, it's the best time to do it. People are willing to make a deal now. Sellers are willing to make a deal. They're willing to pay closing costs. You can get a home inspection done. You can make all that happen now. Yeah. Once the spring hits, right? And especially if rates continue to go down like we think they are. We hit rates at 5.5 in the spring. It's going to be multiple offers on everything again. And we're going to be back in that cycle, right? We're back in that cycle that everyone sees in the spring of, man, I gotta go to the house right away if I like it. I got to decide within about 20 to 30 minutes if I want to make an offer on the house. I got to get an offer in within 24 hours of seeing of the house. Otherwise, there's going to be too many other offers that have come in and it's thing's going to be gone.
Yeah. And it's so benefits for buyers right now. You have an opportunity to ask for closing costs. You're probably going to get them. You have an opportunity to do an inspection. And if there's items that come up on the inspection, you've got an opportunity to ask the seller to make some repairs. You've got, you want to use FHA or VA financing, fantastic. 6 months ago, if you didn't have conventional or cash, you had little to no chance of getting the deal.
Right.
So there's just really great opportunity for buyers right now. Sellers are, and this is a better market to be in. I mean, it's a better market to be in. It was pretty stressful for buyers and agents, when you're writing offers, no inspection, crazy earnest money, closing, 3 to 4 weeks with little to no contingencies on the buyers. And so it's better to get back into a normal market. Inventory, I think, is going to be similar to last year. I think this coming year is going to be similar to last year. So I don't think there's any big flood of inventory coming. So, for sellers, that's good. For buyers, though, again, the next couple months, I think is going to be your best opportunity to buy a home in the next 12 months. So get out there and take a look.
We look at inventory levels. Inventory's level last year at this time, we were hovering around, if I remember correctly, probably high 5s to low 6,000s, roughly.
All right.
Today, we're hovering in probably the mid 6 to high 6,000s, maybe 7, somewhere in there. So our inventory is low this year, just like it was last year, which only drives home the point that when we go into a spring market with low inventory and we get all the buyers jumping back in the pool, you already know what's going to happen, right? Yeah. It's going to be just like last spring. So act sooner than later. You'll definitely get a better deal on a house if you can act sooner versus later right now.
Yeah, we got a lot of buyers that we're working with right now today. and their original plan was, I'm going to buy in the spring or summer, maybe the fall of 23. But they're like, you know what? I want to go out now. I don't want to be rushed. I don't want to be stressed out about being one of 15 offers. And so I think now is a really great time to take a look at real estate. Folks, we got the text lines open, giving away 2 pair of Timberwolves tickets today for the best answer. 2 questions are: what is your favorite Christmas tradition? Maybe it's fun. Maybe it's just a weird one. What is your favorite Christmas tradition? And our other question would be, what is your most unique gift? And that can be one that you've received or one that you've given. What is the most unique or favorite gift that you've received or given? Go to facebook.com. You can answer those questions in the comments, or you can text in your answers to our text line, which is 612-234-7585. That is the text line. 612-234-7585. That is the text line.
So I gotta tell you what my most memorable gift that I ever gave was. And Evan's laughing. Did you see what I put on there?
It's a different thing.
Okay. So Christmas at our house, the adults, right? We just do the gift game, right? Everyone gets a gift of, $25 to $30. You wrap it, you put it in the middle, draw straws to see who goes first. And it's the whole, you can open a gift or you can steal a gift that's already opened, that whole gimmick, right? And so last year I didn't know what to get. So I got like 25 scratch offs, lottery scratch offs. And then I threw in this yodeling pickle that I found on Amazon, right? And it's just one of those stupid gifts you throw in there. It's like, who's going to want a yodeling pickle? I tell you what,
who's going to want a yodeling pickle?
We had more people fighting over that yodeling pickle. Seriously, they didn't even want the scratch offs. They wanted that yodeling pickle. Our 3-year-old, who was 2 years old last year, he actually got into it. This was just an adult game, but he loved that yodeling pickle so much that he ended up with it at the end of the game. And that yodeling pickle, as soon as someone opened it up, it got stolen every single round.
Oh man, you got to picture this. Like, does it actually work? Like it plays music?
Yeah, it just looks like a dill pickle, and it's got one button on it, and you click it, and it plays like 30 seconds of yodeling on there, and that's it.
That is.
So I put a link to it on our Facebook page in the comment section there if you want to check out the old yodeling pickle. But if you're looking for just some weird gift that you're like, I want to throw in just a little side gift here on something, telling you what, the yodeling pickle will be talked about for years if you get that for somebody.
The yodeling pickle. All right, folks, what is your most unique or favorite Christmas gift that you've given or received? You can text your answers to 612-234-7585 is the text line. Again, our text line is 612-234-7585. Also go to facebook.com. You can, in the comments section, give us your answers there. Folks, big announcement, of course, we'll be talking about for the next 3 weeks. Our new show time starting January 4th, 2023 is noon. Noon on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday at noon, we will be live on Facebook, YouTube, and many other streaming platforms. So you'll be able to catch our show live every Wednesday at noon, starting January 4th, 2023. Minnesota Home Talk will become U.S. Home Talk with myself, Jason Walgrave, Mike Ouverson, Marcus Walgrave, and Evan Little. We will be doing the show live every Wednesday at noon. I'm very excited to expand our reach nationally. Of course, we'll be having discussions about local real estate. We're bringing in different local experts throughout the U.S. to bring in their expertise locally. Super excited about the new show, the plan, the name of the show, and how many folks we're going to be able to reach. So January 4th, 2023 will be the new show, name and time, Wednesdays at noon, U.S. Home Talk. Of course, you'll always be able to find us on our website, Minnesota Home Talk. We'll keep that up and running. It'll likely just get forwarded to the new site, ushometalk.com. So Minnesota Home Talk will still get you there. US Home Talk is the new name. And today we're giving away 2 pair of tickets to the Timberwolves game for the best Christmas, either tradition, like your most favorite Christmas tradition. What is that? Or what is your most unique or exciting or weird Christmas gift that you've either given or received over the years? You can send those answers to our text line of 612-234-7585 is the text line. Or you can go to facebook.com and in the comment section, give us your answers there.
So we got a text from Dave who says, my favorite Christmas tradition started way back when my dad and I used to deliver meals to needy families through our local Lions Club in Winona. It became a special Christmas memory for me each year, and the families were incredibly grateful, and I've carried this on with my son as we now do the same thing through our church in Forest Lake.
Oh, nice.
I think that's awesome.
That's perfect.
That is fantastic. So we did in a similar tradition of that. So we do Remax Advantage Plus does an excellent job of partnering with Toys for Tots every year. And so at all 19 of their locations, they've got the big Toys for Tots boxes that you can drop off your toys. And so I think it was Monday of this week, Joseph and Theodore, my sons and I, we went to Walmart. We grabbed a cart and we headed to the toy aisle. And I said, all right, boys, load up the cart.
Right.
So we went up and down every toy aisle, and we had a heaping pile of toys. The whole cart was filled, and they got to pick them all out. And so we bought them, and then we took them up to our Remax office, and then they brought them all inside, and we filled up 2 big boxes. So that was really cool. It was, I could just really tell how much they enjoyed it, and I think, kids today, especially in America, kind of spoiled. They get probably too much stuff and too many toys and things like that. So it was a different perspective, and they got to be a part of this, and it was really cool. So that's a tradition that we're gonna continue moving forward, because it was really neat. And then you go into the Remax office and you see all these toys, and you just think, all those kids, they get get something that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So pretty cool.
It's good. Real good. So, and it's easier on you too, because you're like, man, I don't know what kids are into these days.
Right.
You got your 2 best helpers right there. Literally, what would you guys want to get? That's what what we need to grab,
Yes. And the funny thing about that is there were a couple things I'm like, well, how about that? And they're like, no, that's no good. And I'm like, really? I would have picked that. So that was solid stuff.
Did any youth fire starter kits at all? Did they?
No, I saved those just for our neighbor kids.
Oh, good, perfect, real good.
So. Evan, I love it. All right, folks, what's your favorite Christmas tradition, or what is your most unique gift that you have given or received? You can send us your answers. Go to facebook.com, Minnesota Home Talk page. In the comments, you can give us your answers, or you can use our text line, 612-234-7585. We've got 2 pair of Minnesota Timberwolves tickets to give away. So if you'd like to go to T-Wolves game during the Christmas break, shoot over your answers. The 2 will vote at the end to see what the 2 best answers are, and we're giving away 2 pair of Minnesota Timberwolves tickets. The text line, send your answers to our text line, 612-234-7585. 612-234-7585. Sorry, Mike.
I'm gonna take a guess at what Evan's Christmas tradition is. I see Evan going to his family's house, right? And his Christmas tradition is to go clean out the dryer vent, right, of the clothes dryer, because that's one of the riskiest fire starting things in your house. And so it's like his Christmas tradition is to go there and, kind of while everyone's just kind of talking about, their year and stuff like that, he's up there cleaning out that vent.
No, but maybe that should be. I give everyone a fire extinguisher, clean out their dryer vent.
What else?
Give them a coupon for a chimney sweep to come through and clear out their chimney flue.
Turn off the water to any outdoor spigots in their house, that whole thing, so they don't freeze.
The little foam caps that go over the outdoor spigots, yeah.
So speaking of insurance, so I was talking to my brother Derek yesterday, and he's got one of the guys, I can't remember what subcontracting company it was, but a guy that Pebble Creek has done a lot of business with over the years. And he moved down to Florida. he packed up all his stuff. He moved down there a couple weeks after the hurricane had gone through. And so what he was telling Derek is there are a lot of homeowners that built homes recently. So let's call it in the last 10 years. And some of the builders that they were working with that built the homes, they had an understanding with the city inspectors, meaning they built these homes not to city code, not to the current hurricane guidelines, hurricane code guidelines. And some of these insurance companies are coming back and saying, no, you're not covered. So this home was not built correctly. And so you've got homeowners down there because some of these builders cheated the building codes, didn't do it right. And the insurance company saying, you didn't do it right. It wasn't built the way we thought it was built. We insured you based on what we were told and how it was built. That's not what happened. You're not covered.
Yep.
So
that's one of the key things is insurance is not a warranty. And so anything that would come down to being something like a warranty claim or a fraud claim against the builder, you see this all the time in home renovation projects. You know, you hire a contractor to come into your house and they do the work poorly and damage the home. That is not, generally speaking, an insurance claim. If they inadvertently damage it because of, you know, something unrelated to the work, then it can potentially be. And then it's a back and forth between, you know, is their thing liable because it was in the course of business, yes or no, and so on. But if it's something that they just do poor work, and, you know, like you go in and you go, man, they installed this wrong and it's leaking water everywhere. Your claim isn't on your own homeowner's insurance. It is against their contracting insurance. Yeah. Which is why it's important for them to be bonded and licensed and all that stuff, because that is saying that you have redress against them for bad craftsmanship, because that is not something that you can claim on your homeowner's insurance generally.
How about this? Homeowner finishes their basement, doesn't pull a permit. So let's say it's a DIY deal, right? So they didn't go through a contractor. So they're just going to finish their basement on their own as they have time. They don't pull a permit or anything. They do that, and now damage happens in that finished basement, and no permit was pulled. What does that look like?
Generally speaking, that would be covered as, because so the features of the home are not the important characteristic here. It's the type of damage. Was it sudden and accidental? Then you're looking at insurance. Now, if you build out your basement yourself, right? You're DIYing it, and you just make a really bad basement. You can't come back and say, well, my framing didn't hold up because, 4 months later the nails are pulling themselves out because of the, whatever. Yep. The movement of the home is tearing itself apart down here. Your insurance company is going to go, tough luck, buddy. That's craftsmanship. That's not, So for instance, my home, I live in a home that's 70-ish years old, 80 years old, somewhere in there. And, I have some cracks in my drywall from the settling over time. That's not something that you can file an insurance claim for two reasons. First of all, that's movement of earth. So unless you have an earthquake rider, that's just generally excluded. But on top of that, that's just a normal wear and tear item on the home. It is something that, if it happened because of workmanship, maybe in a home that was built 2 years ago or something, you could go after the builder and say, hey, the foundation is defective or whatever. And you'd have a hard time proving that, but it would be a court case against the builder. It wouldn't be an insurance thing. But that's just it. Is it workmanship? Is it over time? That's not insurance. It is, did a pipe burst because of the cold from outside making the water inside freeze, or the dryer vent started on fire or whatever. Sudden and accidental, that's where insurance is coming in.
What if Jason's practicing karate in his basement, and he puts a foot through the wall and punctures a water line, and it sprays all over, and there's water damage?
Yeah, under a standard homeowner's policy, yes, that would theoretically be covered.
Okay.
I mean, It's a ridiculous story, and your adjuster is gonna you're gonna get an investigation on that one to make sure it wasn't intentional damage to the home. But yeah, if you're trying to perfect your sweet bow staff skills or whatever, like Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And you manage to knock a pipe apart or something, and you're just yelling, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened!" And you've started a new Christmas tradition in the process.
Right.
Yeah, that's generally going to be something that's covered.
Okay.
Sudden and accidental; those are the keys.
So let's say you're a buyer and you buy a house in, call it Richfield, and it's an older home, maybe 1940s built, something in that area. And is there any time that the sewer line from the house out to the street is covered under your
Yes.
insurance? Okay.
It's only covered with a specific rider, which is for buried utility lines. And I
Okay.
always recommend it in Minnesota because of the fact that we have so many trees here.
Yes.
Generally speaking, on a standard homeowner's policy without any endorsements, pipes on your property outside your foundation aren't covered.
Okay.
Your coverage basically ends roughly at the perimeter of your home. So your hookup to the sewer, depending on where you live, like, Edina or Richfield or any of the first ring suburbs, it's going to be pretty similar to the city. You're going to have like a somewhere between a 20 and 50 or 60 foot run to your main drain in your house, right?
Sure.
And that is a segmented pipe that isn't generally even made of metal. It'll be made out of concrete or a different material. And each segment's a foot or 2 feet long. And so roots can grow into those cracks and cause blockages or even just fully separate the thing so it misaligns over time.
Jeez.
Under standard homeowner's policy, not covered at all.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy, you're out of luck. You got to dig up your yard under your own pocket. Most carriers now, certainly all the carriers except one that we work with, offer an endorsement that gives you some amount of coverage, and it varies from company to company for that specific type of scenario, which is called buried utility line coverage. Generally, it costs between $30 and $60 a year, and it provides about $10,000 in coverage. One company will go up to 20. You can basically double it. You can either take 10 or 20. Some of them have caps on the age of the home because they know that older homes is more common. In Minneapolis, the consensus seems to be the average price for that dig up and replace is about $15,000. Mm-hmm. So with most of these, you're not probably going to be able to cover the entire cost of trenching out the yard and replacing the drain, but it's certainly going to help a lot more than a big zero. Sorry, it's not covered.
Right. And how do they get that coverage? Is it just you just select it when you're getting your insurance? Is there an inspection that they do or anything? Or
if you're talking to me, I'm going to suggest it every time.
Yeah.
Replacement cost on roofs and buried utility line coverage every time, every policy.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact buried utility line coverage is actually dirt cheap relative to how much coverage you're getting. I predict it'll get more expensive in the future, but as long as I've been aware, it's been a very, very cheap endorsement. And it's one of those things that the cost to performance payoff is you can own your home for your entire lifetime. And if you only ever make one claim with it, and you don't even need to necessarily replace the whole pipe. It could just be a minor blockage claim under that, and it's paid for itself. So
yeah, that's huge. Tell me about the roof replacement. So let's say you buy a home, it's got a 15 or 20-year-old roof. It's in good shape. There's no issues. What do you mean roof replacement?
So you can get your roof covered in two different ways. You can have it either covered at replacement cost or actual cash value. If it's actual cash value, what they do is they look at the age of the roof and they say, hey, so when that hailstorm rolled through in May, your roof was 17 years old and it was a asphalt shingle roof. And so we have this schedule that says that these roofs are supposed to last this long, say 30 years or whatever, and you were roughly halfway through. And so after your deductible, say you have $1,000 deductible, you pay your $1,000 deductible, and then they go, now for every dollar that we spend repairing this roof, you are responsible for this percentage, and it'll be on the table. And for a roof that age, it's probably going to be about 50%. So if your claim is $11,000, right, you're getting the new roof, you have $1,000 deductible, so the remainder is $10,000, and they will pay roughly half of that. They'll say, okay, so you pay for another $5,000, and we pay for another $5,000.
Yeah.
And the older your roof gets, the worse that ratio gets for you as the customer. Now, replacement cost roof is pretty simple. It is just you pay your deductible, and the insurance company pays to replace the roof.
Yeah.
That is what we recommend all the time. However, and this is a key thing, it is not available to roofs over a certain age with many carriers, and that number is generally about 15 years. Some will stretch that to 20, but like Travelers, which is a very, very big insurance company, 15 years. After that, replacement cost is not available for a new policy. If you have it, like if you bought a policy and your roof was 14 years old and you stay with Travelers, then they will continue insuring it as replacement cost as long as you leave that on the policy. They'll say, yeah, you paid for that and you got under the wire, and now your roof, it's 6 years later and you have that claim and it's 21 years old. Well, you still have replacement cost endorsement on there.
Got it. So it's kind of a grandfather clause. Once you're in, you're
exactly. In. But for a new policy inception, roof age is very, very important. And one of my great frustrations is listings that don't address roof age, because it is one of the biggest ratings factors as far as like what you pay on your insurance in Minnesota, because roof, wind, hail is our number one cause of loss for dollars out in Minnesota.
What's number two?
Number two is water backup.
In the basement or just anywhere? Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's going to generally be in the basement. Water backup claims in general.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I like it. All right, folks, best way to get a hold of us anytime, of course, is our website, minnesotahometalk.com. Beginning January 4th, 2023, Minnesota Home Talk will become U.S. Home Talk, and we will be live Wednesdays at noon on Facebook, YouTube, and many other streaming channels. Mike Ouverson, Marcus Walgrave, myself, and Evan Little, starting January 4th, 2023, live at noon, U.S. Home Talk. Minnesota Home Talk will become U.S. Home Talk. Folks, the best way to get a hold of us anytime is our website, minnesotahometalk.com. We'll continue to keep that up and running. We'll be creating a new website, ushometalk.com, but you can always find us through our original site on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, we've got a real estate hotline number. This is not only our text number, but it is our hotline. You can call or text anytime for anything to do with real estate. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, investing in real estate, anything at all, our hotline is 612-234-7585. Call or text anytime, 612-234-7585. Mike, any last thoughts?
No, I just wish everyone a Merry Christmas coming up here, and reach out to us here. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but honestly, the next 6 to 8 weeks, great time to buy a house. You're going to get the best terms on that house, so look into it.
Opportunity is there. And thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a great week.
This has been a paid program. The views expressed were not necessarily those of the management or ownership of KSTP-AM 1500 ESPN. You're listening to 1500 ESPN on KSTP-AM 1500 and 94.5 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.